I'm reading from Mops Named Nick. Rebel Dogs Heroic Tales of Trusty Hounds by Kimberlie Hamilton. Fortune. Napoleon's Pint-Sized Nemesis. Before she married Napoleon Bonaparte, Marie Joseph Rosa de Beauharnais was imprisoned during the French Revolution just for being an aristocrat. She was forbidden to write letters but allowed visits from her cute pug, Fortune. Her clueless captors never suspected that she took notes on the Fortune's wallet collar. He smuggled them out to her friends, right under the guards' noses. Rosa's friend pulled some strings to free her from prisons, and soon after she fell in love with the future Emperor of France, Napoleon. He wasn't crazy about her name, so he called her Josephine instead. He wasn't crazy about dogs either, which became something of a problem. Quite a big problem, actually. Fortune was used to have her mistress all to herself and became quite cross when others lingered too long in her company. This led to a rather awkward incident on Josephine and Napoleon's wedding night, when the groom entered the bridal chamber and found Fortune curled up in her usual spot on the bed. Napoleon demanded, as generals tend to do, that the dog be removed at once. Josephine assured him that her precious little Fortune wasn't going anywhere. He could share the bed with his new wife and her furry friend, or he could sleep elsewhere. Napoleon being a Napoleon, he tried to remove the dog by force. Bad idea. Fortune's sharp little teeth sank into the general's flesh. Needless to say, this didn't endear Fortune or any dog to Napoleon, as he bore a scar for the rest of his life. 1794, France. Yankee Doodle Dogs. Fortune wasn't the only dog to share living quarters with a powerful leader. In America, more than 100 dogs have lived with the U.S. presidents at the White House. George W. Bush had 2 Scottish Terriers, Barney and Miss Beasley, as well as an English Springer Spaniel named Spot. Barney had his own website with Barney cam videos filmed with a camera hung around his neck. Barack Obama promised his daughters they could get a dog after the 2008 election, no matter who won. Portuguese water dog Boo was the first to join the family, followed later by Sunny. Buddy was a chocolate Labrador that belonged to Bill Clinton. He didn't get on too well with Socks, the Clinton's cat, who eventually opted to go and live with the president's personal secretary. Faithful belonged to Ulysses S. grandson, who was heartbroken of the loss of a much-loved pet. When Grant moved in with a pony-sized Newfoundland, he told the staff, "If this dog dies, every employee in the White House will be discharged at once." He meant it, too. Flanking Delano Russell had 7, but the most famous was his Scottish Terrier, Fella. When the TDR died, Fella walked in his funeral procession and the only dog to be ever included in a president memorial. Gerald Ford's Golden Retriever had an all-American name, Liberty. She gave birth to 9 puppies while living at the White House. Millie was an English Springer Spaniel that authored a best-selling 1992 memoir about life in the White House. George H.W. Bush once said, "My dog Millie knows more about foreign affairs than those 2 bosses," referring to Al Gore and Bill Clinton. John F. Kennedy kept a number of dogs at the White House, including Pushkinka, aka Fluff, an adorable mutt that was a gift from the Soviet Union. Fluff's mom was a famous space dog. Theodore Roosevelt had many dogs, but his favorite was Rollo, a Saint Bernard. Rollo was a gentle giant, well known for his love of children. A mixed breed dog named Yuki was Lyndon B. Johnson's constant companion. They swam together, slept in the same bed, and even danced with each other at his daughter's wedding.